on the ground?
Why can we see farther than it over and over and over? It only takes one time on our side. Your side,
One
it
time.
has to be the other way every time.
No, no, no. You have to explain why the horizon is so close on a flat ground.
Dude, why would you expect it to be different? It is what it is. We notice the observations. It's either flat or it's curved. I don't understand why you think
His,
this is like a win.
No,
his
the
question
horizon.
doesn't even make sense. Like, what do you mean by close? Close, like 1 foot away, 1 mile away? What does close mean?
Yeah. Why is it two? Why is it 2 miles for a 4-foot observer? Why?
Where should it be? Where should it be?
The ground is flat. You should be able to see much further. Like
No,
it,
you just don't
okay,
understand how things actually work.
okay, no problem. Tell us why it is only
Yeah,
two and a
tell
half
us.
miles.
You know why? Because perspective. We would never be able to see Mount Everest from the U.S. Stop being ridiculous. It's so
The,
silly.
re- the reason why you're not seeing Mount Everest
Is
from the
why.
U.S.
Is why.
is
Is
because
why. Let's hear this.
it's occluded by the ground.
It's occluded by the ground.
Yes,
Okay, and you know this for sure.
yes, 100%.
No, you don't. That's hilarious. You don't
No,
know
no, no,
that.
no. You need to tell us why
No, you
that
need to
horizon is
explain.
2.5 miles away.
Oh,
Why
no,
is
no,
there?
no. See,
Why is there even?
You got this twisted, bro.
Why
So
is there even a horizon?
you guys who claim that this is all 100%
No, no, no,
fact
no, no, no,
need
no,
to support your claim.
no, no, no. We
There
don't.
you
We
go.
don't. We cannot. You and I can see the horizon 2.5 miles away. You and I can. Why
No, no, no.
is it there? You and
I
I
can
can
see it.
see it.
I can see it 14 miles away, bro.
What?
Why and how would that ever happen?
What?
I
Big
can see it 14 miles away. Why would that ever happen?
How high is the
6
observer?
feet.
Yeah.
6
Yeah.
feet.
How high are you?
6
14
feet.
miles at 6 feet.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. If you are only 4 feet off the ground, why is it only 2.5 miles? Why?
Dude, what?
I
Are
tell
you
you,
going to
I
answer
tell
my
you what,
question or no?
I am not high enough for this conversation.
Yeah, bro. The fact that they're trying to
Keep
act
on
like this is
puffing away,
exclusive
brother.
proof is ridiculous. There's no
No, it's not
exclusive proof.
ridiculous.
Why would
If
we assume it's a globe?
if you are only 4 foot, why is that? Why is a line in front of you at all at 2.5 miles? Why? We know the United States is 4,000 miles wide. So the Earth is at least 4,000 miles wide, at least. But why is a line blocking me at 2.5 miles if I'm a 4 foot observer?
The
Why do
Why
United
you
is
States is
care
more
if
like
it's 2.5
3,000 miles
miles?
wide, by the way.
Dude, the
Closer to
observations are the
3,000.
observations. If it is flat and that's how far we see, guess what? That's how far we're able to see.
that's
Why
not
does
good
it
enough?
exactly
What?
match refraction?
Well,
Why
give us
does
the
the
science.
curvature rate exactly match refraction?
Give us the science that puts a line at 2.5 miles for a 4 foot observer. Give me the science. Name the
Your
scientist.
question doesn't make
Give
any
me the
fucking
science.
sense.
Okay,
You
okay,
give me
okay.
the science as to
Let
why.
me repeat it. Let me repeat it one more time. If I'm a 4 foot observer, I see a line at 2.5 miles. What is the science that supports that line?
Oh, I didn't hear you. Thanks for saying it for the 15th time. You
Yeah, yeah.
obviously think this is a big win for you.
No,
It's
it's not a
just
win. This is
silly.
not a
You're not
win. No,
thinking
stop
about
that.
it.
This is
You're
not
not
a win.
critically
I
thinking.
want to. I want to
Can I
know.
talk? Can I talk? And then you can go? Yeah. So you're not critically thinking about this, which is the problem. If you go back in time and you notice that these observations happen, right? And then you think, well, we think it's either a globe or we think it's flat, right? It's going to happen regardless. You just have to discover the science behind it. Ooh, it's just silly that you're thinking this way. The reason why it's where it is because that's where it is. Now we can argue about the reasoning about how it happens, but to act like we could see indefinitely far if the Earth is flat is silly. Do you agree?
We are in science and we're studying our environment. Okay. So for example, why is the bird flying? Well, we study the bird and its wings, and we know the pressure changes. Nice. Now I see something, a line at 2.5 miles. I want to study why that line is there. I'm a 4 foot person. Why is it? That's the only thing I'm doing. I'm not just going to say, oh, it's there, forget it. No, I want to know. Tell us why.
Are you talking about the horizon? When you say line, do you mean horizon?
Yes, he does. And
Yes,
he's
sir.
Okay,
still
so
what?
let's just asking this quick question: is the horizon apparent? Yes or no?
Yes, it's apparent. Okay.
Okay, so if
Oh,
it's apparent, then is
Ooh.
it actually 4 miles away from you?
Why does it appear
damn.
at
No, no, no,
4
no, wait,
miles?
hold on, no, don't give me a speech. I don't need a speech. I asked you a yes or no question. If
Okay,
it's
go ahead.
apparent, if the
Hmm.
horizon is apparent,
Right?
is it actually 4 miles away from you?
To
It
the
is
4 foot
actually,
observer, yes.
for a 4 foot observer, yes.
Well, no, it's not any distance because it's apparent.
No,
To a 4 foot
to a
observer,
4 foot
that's where it
observer,
is.
that's where it is. Exactly.
Or that's where it would be on a sphere. Is that what you mean?
To a 4 foot observer, that's where it is.
That's where it is for
No,
a sphere.
no.
Yeah,
He
well,
just asked a
that's kind of a
clarifying
retarded
question.
response, but whatever.
Yeah,
No,
he
no,
asked a
no. It's
clarifying
there.
question, and your answer is obviously yes. You have no idea where it actually is. You
No,
know
that's where it
that's
is.
the truth. You
A-
have to
That's
say
where it is.
it
apparent makes it
because of the black swan. You have to say it.
No, no, no.
well. Apparent makes it like if you rise in elevation, if you change the observer height, that's what makes it apparent. It
No,
appears that the sky
no,
is yeah, that's the only way the horizon would change. Change your
no. It's
elevation.
not. You guys
No,
claim
there's also
refraction changes it over 20,000 times bigger,
No, brother.
infinite
No,
sometimes.
no,
It's
no.
ridiculous. That is the
You're talking
dumbest
about
standpoint.
one-off observation. It doesn't happen all the time. Go,
It
go, go.
happens every time we go out and look. We see
Oh,
farther.
really?
Not
Wow.
by the same
This
amount,
is
but we
amazing.
see.
Are you saying that every time you go look and you see something long distance, you see it every single time at 4 foot?
Every time I have, not everyone. Every
Every
time
time,
I've
every
gone
time
out
you
and
have.
done mine, they've always been way farther. Yes,
Right.
at least
Wow.
two
So,
times.
so if I go and look, yeah, yeah. So you're saying for a 4 foot observer, you see something further than 2.5 miles every time.
Every time I've gone out, yes.
Every
And
time you've
and
gone up.
prove to me that it's not refraction causing the opposite effect. How do we know we don't see too far all the time? And
Uh,
when there's refraction
okay.
is when you guys
I
see
can
your globe
literally.
curve.
I'm
okay,
gonna.
You
Robert.
really
Wait,
don't like letting
Robert.
people talk.
I can
Yeah,
literally.
Robert.
I
No,
can literally. I can
Robert.
literally.
Hello, Robert. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Thanks, sir. Okay, Robert. Oh well. All right, guys, carry on. Sorry. Oh, there he's back. Okay, Robert, you need to stop over talking people. People are trying to have a conversation. You keep clipping. You gotta wait for somebody to get their sentence out.
Hey, Robert, it seems like we're kind of going in circles with this. So let me just ask you something a little different that hasn't been asked in the last 5 minutes. What would prove wrong the globe for you, if anything at all?
Yes. This is what would prove wrong the globe. A picture of the entire ground, all the continents, side
Wow.
by side. No, no,
So
no.
you
No,
mean
no,
you
no.
mean a picture from the vacuum of space, taken from the vacuum of space? Is that what you mean?
No, a picture of the entire ground. Forget
Yeah, I
space.
know, I know. I heard that part. I'm asking
Right.
you a clarifying question about it. Do
Okay.
you mean where would this camera be when this photograph is taken? Where would the camera be? Tell me.
It would have to be above it because that's the only way you're going to see it, everything else.
Okay,
Everything.
what medium?
Like
What
20.
medium would it be in?
I
What
don't know what
place?
medium.
Can
No,
you
that
give a name to the place where the
no,
camera
no.
would
That
be?
you would have to decide that, not me. I want a picture of the entire ground. I want the picture of the entire ground. That's the only thing I care about.
You should
I don't care
listen to
about
this
what
back.
medium.
You should
I
listen
want
to
you
this
to.
back, Robert.
I want you to be able to show me a picture of the entire ground, all continents, side where we know they are.
All
For
right. Wait.
example,
Hold on, Robert. I got another quick question for you about this. So, is it possible for both of these things to be true at the same time? Is it possible for what you're asking me for? Is it possible for that to be impossible to achieve? Is it possible for that to be impossible, but at the same time, simultaneously, the Earth is flat? Is it possible for the Earth to be flat and it impossible to get a picture of the whole Earth at the same time? Is it possible for both those things to be true at the same time? Thus making it so you would be in the scenario of living on a flat Earth, continuing to think it's a globe, and living on a flat Earth your whole life, thinking it's a globe because your standard of evidence is so outlandish. Is it possible for both those things to be true at the same time?
No, it's not possible for it to be impossible because we get.
It's just not. It's because I don't know. It's just not possible for both those things to be true at the same
It is
time.
not possible to be impossible.
That is so bad.
It is going to be possible to get all the continents because we can travel to them.
Your brain
Yeah.
is
I'm not.
not
I mean, hey,
working.
buddy, I didn't say you can't travel to them, but to take a picture of all of the continents with a camera at the same time, that sounds like a tall tale.
Yeah,
Oh,
he said
no.
in one shot.
Oh, are you saying it's just sounds impossible? Is that your explanation?
Hey, I'm not making any claims. I didn't say it's impossible. I'm just saying it sounds like a far-fetched thing to do.
So until you do that, you only have a model. Okay, check this out. I'm going to say this real quick. Listen carefully, and this is very important. Before we got a picture of the entire globe, of the sphere, of the curve, of the V2 rocket, before we did that, the heliocentric was just a model. It was only a model. So when Eratosthenes did his measurement, when Pythagoras did his observation, Copernicus, Einstein, Isaac Newton, all of those things combined only made the sphere a model. It's not until we actually saw the curvature with the V2 rocket that it no longer became a model. It became a fact.
Well,
So,
yeah,
so,
you
so,
can
so
think of it that way.
right.
But I have a higher. But hold on, Robert. I gotta say, I
Last,
have a higher standard of evidence, though. I have a higher standard of evidence. You have
okay.
your standard of evidence. I have mine.
Well, let's hear it.
Oh, well, if you want to know my standard of evidence for proving wrong the flat Earth, I can tell you that. You want to know what that is?
No, a higher standard for verifying that the Earth is a sphere or flat. What is your standard?
Oh, well, yeah. So my standard of evidence is a direct measurement of the surface of the Earth done with steel rails, two of them. One straight, a straight edge for 5 miles, and the other a curved edge next to it that we can compare to each other, so that we can go along both rails and observe the straight edge deviating upwards as the Earth curves beneath the straight edge. Just 5 miles. That's all I asked for.
Only 5 miles of measurement, and it's 3,000 miles.
Yeah, but it would have to be done with steel rails. You know, the same kind of steel rails that we have thousands of miles of railway in this
Right.
beautiful United States.
That means you still only have a model because you need to show me a full measurement of the entire United States.
Hold on. I think maybe you misunderstand what the word model means. What I just described was not a model. That would be a direct measurement, which is not a model.
A direct measurement is still a model. Measure is a model. You need to observe it.
I meant that in the grander sense of measuring the ground doesn't tell me what the stars are made of or whatever.
It needs to be observed, all points observed, in order for it to no longer be a model. You cannot give us.
So what are you on about then? I don't understand what point are you trying to make?
Yes, brother, you need to show us the entire ground for it to no longer be a model. It has to be within our sphere of vision. You understand me? There is two ways to prove.
No, I don't. I don't understand your logic at all. It's not logical. What you're saying is not logical. Let me say something to you. Like, in order to know for sure whether the Earth is a ball with a radius of 4,000 miles or if it's flat, all you need to do is take a 5-mile section, a straight 5-mile section, and measure it very carefully, the most careful way that you possibly can. And in that 5 miles, you don't need to step outside of that 5-mile section to know whether or not the Earth is curved or not. You can use that 5 miles to figure out if it's curved or not. So I don't know what you're talking about with the whole looking at the whole Earth crap thing. You can measure a small section and know for sure if it's curved or not. This whole look at the whole Earth thing is just ridiculous.
Absolutely not. You're standing on the ground Therefore, there's a lot of things that can interfere with your measurements. You need to be able to come off of your ground and reduce it angularly to see the entire ground for you to say that it is flat to us. You cannot just stand on the ground and measure. You're going to run into things. You're running into hills. You're running into mountains. You're running
Yeah,
into
buddy, I
valleys.
know that you're
All of
not
these things.
explaining anything I don't already know. You're not
I
telling me
know, I
anything I
know.
don't
No,
already know.
what you're doing is hand waving it away, and I'm trying to tell you.
What I'm saying is you can do that regardless. It's called using a level. Like you use a
A level,
shovel to move dirt out of the way. You use
right?
machinery to move rocks out of the way, or
Right.
you can just focus on water
Yeah,
and
yeah.
level
But
water.
what you do when you move things out of the way, you are already changing the ground. That's what you're doing. You're changing the ground. Because remember, the earth is spherical, it's not a perfect ball. So there are areas on the earth that are very, 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 very flat. And there are other
No,
areas on
no,
the sphere
no.
that are not. So that's what I'm just trying
But
to let you know.
are you saying? Are you saying? Well, hold on. Are you just simply saying now the Earth is too big to be measured and detect curvature? It's just too big. Is that what you're saying? That you're just throwing that excuse out there now?
No, no. For you to measure it standing on the ground is impossible. For you to measure it
Yeah,
standing on the ground,
you
the
just said
entire ground.
exactly what I just said. You are saying exactly that. The Earth is too big to be measured. You can't. You just got
Exactly.
to believe it's a ball. That's what you're saying. You just got to believe it's a ball. Don't bother
No,
trying to measure and detect curvature because it's too big to detect any curvature. But it is curved. Just believe
no,
it.
no.
That's what you're
That's not
saying.
what I said. That's not what I said.
That's
I
exactly
said
what you just said. That is exactly what you just said.
it's impossible to measure standing on the ground. It's impossible to measure standing on the ground. You need angularly to reduce the ground. You need height and altitude in order to see the entire ground to make a determination if it's spherical or flat.
Okay, have you done this?
Yes. What I said to
Okay.
you, that's what
I'm
I
guessing
said
you
to you,
did it and you determined it's spherical, right?
right?
Whatever
That's
the
what I
hell
said.
doohickey thing it is you did.
No, it's only logical. That's why I told you before, it's not until we flew the V2 rocket where human beings said, oh,
I got. You don't need to repeat yourself. I heard that, buddy. I heard that. You said that like 4 times already. So you can't prove geometric shapes with logic alone. You got to measure things in order to prove geometric shapes, especially when it comes to
No, you don't.
geometric claims that are extraordinary geometric claims, like me observing the Earth is flat and you saying it's a ball. You know, like that's an extraordinary geometric claim. You got to measure the Earth and detect curvature to substantiate that geometric claim. There's no logic behind just saying,
No, you
the
don't.
Earth is a ball, blah, blah, blah. Logic.
no, 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 we're not saying that. What we're saying is we have seen the curvature of the earth. Now let's measure its size properly. You cannot measure it properly standing on the
Yeah, yeah.
ground.
Again, you keep repeating yourself. What are you talking about? Describe your method of measuring it. Go describe it now. Don't repeat yourself.
No, no
Get
problem.
into the details.
Okay, now that we have seen that the earth is a sphere from high altitude, now we're going to measure it from that altitude. That is what we're doing now. So we literally, from high altitude, using microwaves in combination with altimeters and infrared imaging. And we are mapping and measuring all of the sphere now.
Yeah. In other words, someone else is saying they're doing this and you're believing them, but you're not actually measuring shit.
Oh, no, no, no. We can't, you can't say that because you're going to have to give me evidence that they are not doing that.
No, 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 no.
Oh,
Okay,
That's
but
a
you
that's a
hang
burden
on,
of
discuss
proof
hang
evidence,
on,
reversal.
Robert.
hold on. Robert, didn't you say that? Didn't Orion ask you and you said that you measured it? And now, like, I'm even confused what you're talking about. Are you trying to measure the size of the Earth? Are you trying to measure curvature? Like, what are you going on about exactly?
No, no, no. I'm going on about determining that the earth is sphere or flat.
Okay, so you're talking about measuring the size or measuring potential curvature?
No, we're measuring the entire sphere now. That's what we do.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what we do now, yes.
Okay, so again, Orion asked you if you did it, to which I believe you alluded that you had, and now he's saying that, yeah, you didn't because you're just going off of rockets and things like that, I believe.
No. Okay, no. Thank you for making me the orbiter of all things, but I'm not. There are people who are smarter than me who are doing measurements of the Earth. So you can so it is not a good. It's a logic. It's kind of a logical way of arguing by saying that because I haven't done it, that means the Earth is not a sphere. That does not make sense.
No, Robert.
That's not what the
There's no
problem
explicit proof
was,
though, bro.
right? Like you did, Orion, didn't he say? I mean, it's kind of like semantics at this point, but yeah, just Robert. I mean, if you want to carry on, I think Regis wanted to say something or register, whatever. Sorry, bud.
Yeah, Robert. So you're basically claiming that other scientists do have exclusive proof. Earlier, you said it's not necessary. So what is it?
What? I didn't say anything like that. I never said anything about them having exclusive. It's just that they have the resources that they're using to measure the Earth. Many
No,
scientists
no,
do.
they don't though. Can you give me some names or cite something? Because there
Yes,
is no proof of Earth curvature.
yes, I can
That's
cite something. I'm going to cite. I'm going to put in the chat, but I'm going to just
what
give you
you
a
want to
brief
bet,
summary.
Dev.
I'm going to I'll give you a brief summary. Just allow me. So we have polar orbiting satellites called POES, polar orbiters, that was put up
Presumptions.
there by by NOAA in collaboration with NASA and
Yeah,
the
we're not
NSA
using.
and so on. So these guys, just real quick, I'm going to finish right now. Last sentence. These probes have on board instruments like infrared, microwave, and altimeters, and they are mapping and measuring the Earth. Now I'm going to post this information for you.
Yeah, but
All right,
somebody had to
even if
measure
that
it
was true,
beforehand,
Robert.
before they supposedly went up there. You just can't say, "Oh, there's satellites." Yeah, somebody had to measure the Earth to be a ball to be able to do orbital mechanics. Otherwise, there is no orbital mechanics.
Question: what was the method that they used to determine the shape of the Earth? Not in terms of like its radius value. What was their specific method? Does anyone know? Or
Say that one more time. What was your
They
question?
originally did it.
so my question was, what was the method that they used to determine the shape of the Earth? So like, what was the
They
specific?
haven't.
How did they got? No.
Originally,
So yeah, so the original measurement that they came up with, how did they get that measurement? Did they just
They
pull
didn't
it
get
out
a
of thin air?
measurement.
Al Bruni.
Originally, it wasn't a measurement. Originally, it's philosophy with the Greeks. It was a philosophical thing, not a measurement.
Well, Al Bruni claims to have the first measurement, but he assumed a flat Earth and climbed up the mountain, and he looked out just the right distance where, if you take that straight to the core of the Earth, it makes a triangle, and he did the Pythagorean theorem. It's just nonsense.
Well, you're going to have to give evidence that it's nonsense.
No, I don't. You have the positive claim. Al Bruni has the positive claim, Robert. Why do you not know this yet?
No, okay, I can literally say he did it, and there's a document
No,
that says
you
he's done
can't.
it.
You don't even know if he's real, Robert. You read it in a book. Come on, man. Use your
Okay,
brain. It's not that hard.
okay. Wait, you've read many things in a book and you have assumed them, haven't you not?
No, I haven't. Not when it
Oh,
comes to
really?
truth.
So
Yeah, Robert.
you're living in a vacuum then?
What?
Yes.
I don't know
There are
that
many.
Hold
conclusion.
on. Listen, disregarding like what the actual size of Earth is, it is still a sphere regardless of what that measurement is.
What?
What?
Yeah, you don't need to know the measurement of something to know the shape of it.
Yeah, that's true. But you don't know the shape of it. So
We
what are you
do though,
saying? How?
Uh,
but simple with the night sky rotation.
No, that's not even close. Good try, though.
Did you
No,
say
it
Robert, do you
is.
agree with this guy? Robert, do you agree with this guy that the night sky can tell us what we're on the shape of it?
Not entirely, but it gives you an
Oh,
idea.
darn it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
close.
Walter, would you like to know how?
You just told us it
Yeah,
wasn't
go
even
ahead.
close.
I'd like to
It
hear
does.
how entirely.
Yeah, sure. So the way that it works is it's basically through the idea of, oh, if a sphere has these same exact properties of it, we can then find these properties elsewhere in the universe. That's effectively what it comes down to. Okay, now that's the effective principle behind it. So
Just said
based off nothing that we don't know what the shape of the Earth is, when we observe the night sky rotation, it's observed that that in the northern hemisphere it rotates counterclockwise, going east to west. Then if we travel down to the equator, we observe the night sky again. It rotates overhead east to west. Then we travel down to the southern hemisphere where it rotates not counterclockwise, that was my bad, clockwise east to west. Now with this observation that we have in mind, we have three observations: counterclockwise in the northeast to west overhead, clockwise east to west.
so
We take it.
why couldn't the stars just be moving, Alex?
Can you repeat that? Why did you say why couldn't the stars not be moving?
I said, why couldn't the stars just be moving in that pattern?
Because when you try to map it out onto a flat plane, the observation starts to fall flat. Literally,
Doesn't mean it's a globe, Alex, does it?
it
So where's your proof of globe?
it does, because when you take a
No, it
sphere,
doesn't. It's a
and
false dichotomy, Alex.
no, it's not. But anyways, so when you roll a sphere and the opposite end of it, it's going to rotate
Alex,
clockwise.
the sky could
So
be
you're
going
claiming,
to zero for all I care. It doesn't
Alex,
doesn't give you the shape of the Earth.
It does, though, through the example I just gave of the sphere.
It
no,
does
it doesn't,
not,
Alex.
as you call
Spinning.
begging the question.
It's not begging the question if you can see the exact same observation that's happening.
Alex, you're either dishonest or not very bright, and I'm sorry to put it that way, but you literally can have the stars doing whatever they want. You don't know the cause of what's happening, so it could be over any shape. Stop pretending like it's definitely a globe or a sphere if these things are present.
Well, we do know that it's a sphere because in theory, yes, this could be happening on something else, for i.e.
Oh,
a cube. But the problem with that becomes then you have to find a hard edge somewhere on Earth where all 3 points meet, in which we've traveled all of Earth. There is no 3 point
You have traveled all
area
of
like
Earth.
that. No, the
Alex,
human species has.
Alex, you're just off, dude. You just like, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but it's not exclusive to a globe, bro.
It is, though, because you can't make this observation
Dude,
replicatable to a flat plane.
I'm trying to be as nice as possible. There's the false dichotomy again. It doesn't have to be a flat plane for us to say that the stars could be doing whatever and it's not necessarily a globe. So if you're not going to acknowledge that, I'm not going to continue to talk with you because it's dishonesty.
Instead
What
of
is the
you guys
dishonesty in
repeating,
saying? What is the dishonesty in saying this observation is the same exact one that we see on a sphere? Therefore, Earth is
It's
a
not.
sphere based off that. It is, though, because
There
we
you
can see
go.
it.
There you go.
wait,
That's
wait,
It's
why.
the
let
same
me ask a question.
observation.
Hey, Alex, do you have this observation? Do you have a flat Earth and a globe Earth with different observations of the stars above them to compare to each other?
It doesn't matter. That's still a false dichotomy. He's
It's
claiming
just
that
bullshit.
because we see them, it's because we see these rotations, it's definitely a globe that we're on. That is the silliest thing ever.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's kind of move on from this. Wait, hey, Alex, let me just ask you, what would prove wrong the globe for you, or is it an immovable belief on your part?
in order for the Earth to be anything but a globe, you'd have to provide like objective observations that show that it is the said thing that it is. So, like, I'm not saying it
But
could,
Alex,
and I'm speaking
that's not
open to
true
any
though.
shape. No,
Let
But
him
that's not
continue.
true,
What did
Alex.
you say? He's kind of trailing off there. But what would prove wrong the globe for you, or nothing would
object
prove wrong the globe for you?
objective observations showing otherwise.
Okay, that's very vague. Be specific.
Okay, so for the example that I gave with the night sky rotation, you would have to show, hey, the night sky doesn't do this. It actually does this other thing that you're talking about.
I have to show you the night sky doing something other than what it does
Yeah,
for the
dude,
Earth to
Alex,
not be a globe for you.
Well,
Alex,
no,
it
so,
does what it
no,
does,
I
Alex.
just, yeah, and we know what it means in relationship to us.
No, we don't, Alex. You're being
We do.
dishonest. You're being very dishonest. And it's
What is the
frustrating.
dishonesty?
Because you're acting like because the sky does this thing that we expect, then we're living underneath it on a ball. That is not
Yes,
true. It can be
it is
doing
true.
whatever it wants to do, Alex. They could be zigzagging in the goddamn sky. It doesn't mean we're on anything
It does, though,
specific.
because we
No,
understand what it means in
literally doesn't.
relationship to us. I understand that you might not know, and that's fine.
No, Alex,
but we're
you are just pretending. And now you're trying to project back onto me like
okay.
I'm the one who's wrong, but I'm not.
So explain
Logically,
how the
you are
night
not
sky
valid.
rotation is working on the disk. The
I'm
way we
not going to
observe it.
fulfill your fallacy,
disc? Now
Alex.
we have
I
a
don't
disc.
have to replace it. And
I
I
think
don't
he's
have
watching
to
Fantasia
speak
Fantasia
from
all the
Okay,
time.
okay, so
a flat
don't
earth.
okay, so don't get mad at me when I'm making an objective observation and
It's not
applying that with the
objective,
observation.
Alex.
It is though, because it
It's
so
not.
it
Dude,
is
if you
because the night
believe
sky
that, man,
is doing that.
yes, it's doing that. What does that have to do with what's underneath it?
Because we understand what it means in relationship to us.
Wow.
Do you not understand what it means in relationship to us?
Alex, it doesn't have to be a globe, bro. I don't know what else I got to say. It can
Yeah,
do what it wants.
it could be another 3D based object. I agree with you, but
If
guess
you're
what?
looking,
But guess what? We don't have any hard edges like on a cube or a pyramid like that.
What the hell
so
are you
the
talking
only
about?
shape, just
So this idea of like, I think it's called axial rotation, I believe is the official title of it, where if you spin a 3D object one way, like if you rotate it like forward away from you, one side's going to rotate opposite from the other side of it, even though it's still running in the same direction. And you can actually, if you cut a sphere directly in half tape it together and roll it, and then before that same exact roll like that you would, it would appear that those two halves are rotating opposite of each other. The same idea
Alex,
holds true for this.
no crap, dude. No shit. We can agree that if we have a sphere and we have lights around it and we spin the sphere, that's what we're going to see. You're acting like because we see that, this is the only combination of things that would make it happen. Now, if you're looking at this from your paradigm with gravity and dark matter and all that crap, you're going to be influenced to say that, yes, this is 100% true. But you have to critically think. You have to stop and say, they could literally be doing whatever. We don't know the dynamics for sure. Nothing is proven. We have no clue what's causing the stars to do what they do. Things move at different speeds. So now they have to say, oh, well, they're all moving independently as well. Okay. Or they're just all moving at different speeds, at the same speed, speeds relative to one another. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have any bearing on what we're on. Yes, we see that effect when we break it down on Earth and spin a ball. If we had a camera on that ball, we would see that, right? Doesn't mean it's what's happening. You cannot say that with 100% surety or certainty. It's just not the case.
You actually can, because there has been no observation otherwise that demonstrates that it's for some other effect happening.
That doesn't mean that's what's happening, Alex. If you're
It
going by the
does,
scientific
it does,
method
though.
and you can say
Well, I
that,
gotta correct him there. He's wrong. Wait, hold on, Alex. Alex, there has been observations. There's been long-range observations over bodies of water that have falsified the radius. So yeah,
Well,
there's been observations that have falsified your premise. Yes, there have been. In fact, I conducted
we're not
one
talking
myself
about the
for
radius,
Echelon.
but we're not talking about the radius, though.
Yeah, we are. You're saying the Earth is a
No.
ball. A ball has a radius, right?
Yeah, but do you need to know what the radius of a ball is to know it's a ball?
no, and that's the first
It
true
has
thing
to
you
have
said,
a radius
Alex.
to be a ball.
Yeah, but you need to know that radius for it to know it's a ball.
No, you don't. And I'm being honest.
Great.
You're right
Yeah,
about
great.
that.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
you're wrong
Yeah.
overall.
except that you don't have a reason why. You said, oh, it could be some other reason, but even
Did I
though you
not
have
say the
no
reason why, Alex? Did I not say the reason why? You're taking a far-fetched premise. You're making a claim about it with nothing to support you. Yet you're going to have the audacity to come at me as if I said something inconsistent? No, bro. You're way off on this.
The reason is because it is a sphere. You're saying, oh, it could be some other phenomenon that is occurring. We don't really know why, and then you're not really addressing
Yeah,
the
there's
actual
no proof.
observation. Except that there is no other phenomenon happening when we observe this.
Even if there was no other phenomenon that we know of right now, it still doesn't make what you're saying 100% true. The fact
It
that you keep
does.
acting like it does is insane.
Yeah, because we understand how spheres work.
We understand what we understand, Alex. If it's something
Yeah,
we don't
and we know how
understand,
spheres
then
work.
it's not true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what don't
but
you understand about
you're
spheres?
you're saying that a phenomenon that we see that's consistent with a sphere, when we see that phenomenon elsewhere, it's 100% a sphere underneath it. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
You're trying to say that a cat and a dog are all animals, right? They are, but they're not each other, are they? So you have no idea.
Yeah,
You're
because
just saying it.
Yeah, because a sphere can come in different sizes. That is correct. Yes. What is so
Dude,
wrong with that
the
idea?
size doesn't change the effect, Alex. We just went over this.
Yeah, I agree with
I don't know
you.
what point you're trying to say.
What I'm trying to say to you is that the Earth is a sphere based off this observation alone.
No. The lights in the
Yes.
sky do not in any way indicate what shape we are on with 100% certainty. Does it
doesn't have
make
to
it
be
more
light.
likely? Maybe. It might make it more likely. But for you to
No,
say it's
100%.
100% sure, no, you're 100% wrong. And it's kind of frustrating, so I'm just going to back out.
Well, it doesn't have to be lights. It could be any other type of thing or any like that. You could use a
I
blade of
know,
grass.
Alex, but your bias
Okay,
is blocking you from seeing this, and it's frustrating, man.
What do you mean bias? What is the bias?
You want it to be a globe, so you're literally saying that it's
No,
100% a
it's
globe
that
because there's lights over our head doing something. That's what you're saying.
It's
Yes.
that we're taking this observation and looking at it, applying it to different shapes, and realizing that this makes sense on the sphere the best. When you try to apply this to a flat,
matter what
it does,
shape it is,
though.
Alex. It doesn't. The stars
Yeah,
could
it
just
does.
be moving. They could just be moving in
So
any
make
way that they
them-
want. We have no clue.
Yeah, but we do know
You're
because
assuming that the Earth is moving and the stars are fixed.
Because the observation is not possible on a flat plane.
False dichotomy. It doesn't have to be a flat plane, Alex. I'm arguing against your globe. Are you seriously not understanding?
Oh, are you a cube earther?
Wow.
I understand what you're saying,
Do you really
well.
understand that, Alex?
I understand that the Earth is a sphere based off this one observation alone.
Well, you're not very bright then, and I'm sorry to say that, but you're either being dishonest or you're not very bright.
Well, it's more the fact that I understand that this observation proves that it is a 3D based object alone, and that with that, but I also understand that there's no hard edges anywhere on Earth that indicate that it is a cube or some type of other 3D based object. I understand that as well.
What do you think that we think that the Earth's not a 3D shape object or 3D-ish at all?
I believe that you guys are anti-establishment for the sake of being anti-establishment.
That's not my question. I asked nothing about establishment.
No. So if you want my general
shapes, because you're
if you want my
you're just saying.
Do you want my general?
that
Do you want my
I
general
know
premise
that the Earth is a
for
3D
what?
object, so I'm asking you, what do you think that Flat Earther thinks? That it's not 3D?
It's not. They think it's 3D in a different sense. I don't. Granted, I don't know how.
That's
the way
fucking
they think
retarded.
Yeah, flat Earth is retarded. I agree.
You're retarded. What you just said is
Okay,
retarded.
Alex.
They think it's 3D in a different sense. There's only way one thing is three-dimensional.
So the only it could be three. It could be 3D
There's
like a
globe
disc.
Earth 3D and flat Earth 3D. Derpity derp derp derp. That's fucking retarded. What you just said is fucking retarded.
Okay, yeah, okay, but we cannot do the name calling and making weird noises at somebody just because we disagree with them.
Wait, you can't make weird noises at somebody?
No, Elbow, we gotta be nice. Come on.
Hi, Red for
Like,
Bear. I
are,
actually
are,
sent
are you
you
so
a.
crazy to think that flat earthers don't think there's depth to the earth? Like, do you think flat earthers think minds don't exist? Like, seriously, what the hell's going on in your head?
Well, it comes down to the fact that the flat Earth has to either be I don't even know how you imagine it other than a disc of some sort, or if it's like super Earth.
I'm bad at this.
So then,
It's-
Alex, do you think maybe like asking more questions instead of like making assumptions and like causing chaos about this would be maybe a better way if you're actually trying to have like an honest conversation? Just throwing it out there.
He's not trying to have an honest conversation.
Yeah, Elbow, but
Well,
we're
I'm not the one who's trying to be in the sense of this observation is happening, but this doesn't necessarily prove that it's a sphere, even though this observation
Doesn't
is
Alex?
provable on
Holy
spheres.
God, dude,
'Cause you
bro,
have a total
you
misconception of
your
what the
your
Earth
bias
is.
is blinding you, bro. Like you want it to be a globe so bad that you're making jumps in logic. If you can't admit that, why would we talk to you? You know for sure right now that this effect could be happening just from the stars moving in that effect for whatever reason. Doesn't matter the reason. You're acting like it's 100% certain that we're on a globe because the stars are moving a certain way. They could be doing whatever up there, literally, to make it look like this. They don't even have to be moving the way we see them. They could be moving a different way, and the shape that we're on is causing it to look like that. You don't know.
We
Please
do
admit
though,
that.
because
All right, dude. All right, I'm done. I'm done.
because there is no other phenomenon happening that's causing them to do that.
Any Globers in here agree with Alex?
Well, Alex, is it's part of the information we need. Yes, it gives us a pretty close understanding that we could live on a sphere, but we need more information, right? Um,
So it's not certain then, right? Just from that one observation, correct?
yeah, what we're seeing at night just does not really line up with a flat plane, but it's not enough to just say the Earth is a
A little
sphere.
honesty. Thank you, Robert. Thank you. Now, Alex, do you have a reply to that?
So the thing that I would apply with that is, for one, I don't understand how you could come to the conclusion that it doesn't do that, because when you try to make this observation work on anything else other than a sphere, there are complications come into play. Specifically, with that of a flat plane, it's impossible to have all three observations occur at the same time.
Wait, what? All three observations happening at the same time?
Good thing that's irrelevant, Alex.
Because at night
It is.
you don't have that clear view of the horizon, right? I mean, if it's pitch black, right, you don't. So that is why I mean you can see some sort of a declination out there, but and if you observe over time, you will see, for example, the moon, is on the horizon, or certain stars are on the horizon. Then so later on during the year, they're higher up, or during the nights, these stars process overhead. These kind of things you can say, is lining up with sphere. But you need that horizon line. That horizon line is what you really can say, and that's why I always say to flat earthers that horizon line it means you're on a sphere. It shouldn't be there
Only
if the
if
Earth
you
is flat.
assume that
It should be
your
that.
physics is correct.
Wait,
Only if you
hold on.
assume that we have a knowledge of perspective that is 100% bulletproof. Like, it makes total sense that things getting far away would lower. It's just the angles, bro. Like, you guys can't say that because we see things on the horizon, we're on a globe. It doesn't follow, man. It might make it more likely. I will grant you that. But you cannot say for certain. That's why there is no proof, and this whole conversation is happening.
Well, well, with both the night observation that Alex is talking about, and then the daytime observation of that horizon being so close and the sun not changing angular size significantly, that just totally says you're on a sphere. I mean,
It does change
people need
angular
more.
size.
Well, hold on. There was one thing I wanted to point out to Robert actually. Why would the stars being for whatever like moving throughout the year or getting farther away? Why on earth would that matter in this context? Because all throughout the year it's still rotating counterclockwise in the north, clockwise in the south, and overhead east to west, regardless of what time of year it is.
Well, you're going around the sun, so you understand. So
Yeah.
the constellations are angling out a little differently as you process around the sun throughout
But
the
we're not
year.
talking about the constellations themselves. We're talking about how the stars are rotating.
The stars, constellation, same thing. I mean, well,
Yeah,
not
like
same
you
thing,
like.
same kind of observation.
I mean, you can say like, oh, anything specific thing you want, but in regardless of how you view it, it's still doing the counterclockwise and clockwise thing and going east to west everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's moving from east to west over here because
East to west is literally a human like invention. It has no bearing on anything. You guys
no,
aren't
no, it
thinking
does.
correctly. No, it doesn't. You guys don't understand it. Why is it so hard? I'm
Oh,
seriously
okay.
baffled.
It's just
What
an
is,
arbitrary name that we gave it in order to help us navigate Earth. That's literally all it is.
Yes, Alex. Yes. So that doesn't have anything to do with your point, correct?
I
Well,
guess
no, it's
what Alex is
would you
driving
prefer if I called it
home.
like a different direction? Like what?
What
It's
Alex
the
is
same
driving
direction,
home to
Alex.
is that
But
that
we don't know that.
entire sky, that entire sky is moving over your head east to west. That entire sky. It's not like some of the stars say, "Oh, I'm going
Saying
to
it
move further than the others." That
saying
entire
it
sky.
doesn't make it not a human invention, bro. East to west doesn't really mean anything.
Oh, wait. Are you suggesting that humans created that entire sky? Wow.
What? The cardinal directions, bro. The cardinal directions. Yes, we invented that.
No, yeah. No. Those are just names we've giving to what we observe,
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
horizon.
Yeah. So the
the
fact
cardinal
that they spin in
directions.
opposite directions doesn't really matter to anything if you're bringing in east to west. East to
Is
west
the
is just a
observation. That entire sky processing over your head throughout the night is pretty odd, right?
why
It's
is it
suggest
odd? Because you're framing
it,
it with your bias?
no, it's suggesting that either they are moving like that every single night, or you
Yes,
are.
there you go. There's the first good point you've made. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but
When you guys
um,
assume one of them and then look at a phenomenon based on that with that already in your head, it's going to make you
yeah,
jump some places, huh?
but the point is, right? All of them moving uniformly like that means that they are on the same canvas that is turning. That is odd, right? It's just odd.
They're going
It's like somebody drew them on one sheet of paper, and that sheet of paper is moving. That is
except
weird.
that there's things moving different speeds, so you're totally wrong.
No. They're moving on a different reference frame. Yes, in the heliocentric model,
Yeah, but they're
these
not moving uniformly with each other.
they're doing all
So
sorts of things up there. They're going around the galaxy at different speeds and all kind of stuff. Yeah. But that's
exactly.
irrelevant. No. We're talking about flat Earth versus globe Earth right here where we stand on the ground. So
No, we're
once we
not. We're talking about the globe Earth only. We're not talking about flat Earth.
globe, okay, if you're talking about globe Earth, what we observe at night is good information that you're on a sphere, because all of those things are moving one direction over our head as the night moves on. All of those objects are
One
individual objects.
direction?
For,
Dude,
yeah,
they're literally moving from our point of view in
east west.
circles.
They're in east
That
to
is
west.
all directions.
No, in east to west, because you're
Yeah,
turning
but
on an axis, you're seeing
yes.
them change throughout the sky. Now, once you zoom into those objects and do parallaxing and all these kind of things, you will see that they're on different types of schedules. One is moving faster, the other one is moving slower, the other one is moving, coming towards our vicinity, some are moving away from our vicinity. These sort of things. Like for example, the Barnard star will be making a flyby, right? It's still going to be way out there astronomically, but we're getting close to it, right? And then it's going to kind of go on a different, a curve kind of direction, right? So these sort of things are going on with all these objects up there.
Robert, they're all appearing because we're talking about star trails specifically, right?
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
talking
like
about the star trails in the north versus star trails in the south. We're seeing them move in circles. Okay. So that's every direction, right? They could just be doing that. That's why I was trying to tell Alex that it's not a guarantee. They could just be doing that. So the fact that things do move at different speeds, like if they all moved at the same speed, I would say, wow, like, okay, it's probably us moving. More likely. Doesn't mean it is, but more likely, in my opinion. Now, my logic might be wrong on that. I don't know. However, I think it's much more likely if everything was moving at the same speed relative to each other, that it would be us moving, not the things in the sky. But if we have one thing in the sky moving independently from others, there's no way we can say that we live on a globe because we're seeing these things move the way they do.
okay,
And
okay,
that's the point I was making to Alex.
But
yeah,
we
but
can because we understand what that means.
Thanks, Alex.
You're welcome.
the distance that they're on a whole is the reason why it looks uniform through our skies. They are
How do you
very,
find the distance, Robert? How do you find the distance? Spectroscopy?
you find the distance, there's parallax, there's
No,
spectrometry,
no. Did you ever
there.
look at parallax measurements, Robert?
Of course I have, yes. When I did
Okay,
my physics,
so what do?
yeah.
You throw out the negative ones, right? And you consider all of them positive. And we're talking about
No,
such a small angle difference,
what are we doing?
89.998.
Yeah,
It
what's
makes
wrong with
no
that?
sense because there's no guarantee there's no way that's without outside of the earth of the
You,
instruments that we're using.
you
If
look
we
at
get
how something
negative,
is moving in relationship to something else behind it, right?
I know what parallax is, Robert. I'm telling
Okay, all
you,
right.
the angle difference is so small from 90
Yeah.
that when they get
Mhm.
negative results, they treat them as positive or they throw them out
We,
and they get
we have
negative
we have
results a
very
lot.
advanced spectrometer.
Apparently not, because you guys get negative results a lot and you're told to do what to do with them.
100 years ago, those couple 100 years ago,
No, recently.
Galileo. Yeah, but recently, like these large radio telescopes, the Hubble telescope, um, J-
It's got to be on the Earth,
JWGS.
dude. It's got to be on the Earth.
Oh,
We're not going
okay,
Hubble or JSW, whatever the hell it is. We're not
right.
doing
Okay, well, anyways, I mean, if you're on the Earth, when you're looking at these objects using these telescopes, you can invoke parallax. It can pick up very small angle changes and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
This
but
is
they pick up negative ones, right, Robert?
uh, okay. Meaning negative, meaning they're moving in the other direction.
Correct. The wrong way.
Right. That's
But
fine.
but they're told to treat them as positive because it's
No,
such a small
no,
angle difference.
no. In reference to what?
Oh yeah.
No, they don't tell them to treat them as positive.
Oh
It's
yeah, they
referring.
do.
No, they don't.
Robert, do you want me to post the source that
Yeah,
shows that they did that?
yeah. Go ahead, post the source that says okay.
All right, I got to find it. Hold on.
Because that would throw off your parallax angles and all these sort of things. Oh, but the bottom line is, we're going back to what Alex suggested. He does have a huge part of the puzzle we can rest assured, we can get a good understanding that the Earth is a sphere by observations at night. But we need that horizon during the day to lock it down. That's just my feeling.
Well, the horizon itself doesn't necessarily. It doesn't really matter like what the horizon is or what it's doing in relationship to the observation that I brought forth, because it doesn't really, because even if you want to say like it's up to a certain distance of the horizon, the observation from before that's about the night sky is still happening. Like the only way that the Earth can't be a sphere is that the observation in the night sky is doing something completely different from what is happening.
Fair enough.
So I'm about to post right now. It's just AI, but I'm not going to find an actual source, but it's showing you exactly what they do.
Well, I'm no expert on parallax, but I understand how it works. Treat them as negative. That's kind of new to me. Let's take a look at your info. But it will still point back to the fact that parallax is used to tell distances and stuff like that.
All right, you see it?
Wouldn't
There's a
that just mean
correction
that
for
it's
negative parallax to make it positive. So it's moving the opposite way, but not only do they disregard it, they actually add it to their parallax formula.
wouldn't that just mean that the stars are just going clockwise and counterclockwise in the opposite areas?
No, it's stars in relation to another star. So it's supposed to be parallaxing one way, yet they get results that go the opposite way, but they just literally treat it as a positive result anyway. So parallax is not very scientific, in my opinion. I don't think there's anything there at all. I could be wrong, but if they're doing stuff like that, why would I trust it?